difference between us and everyone else too? We just randomly start.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
We're here.
Holy hi.
Finally. Are you nervous?
No, not really.
You should be, because we're going to you.
No.
Let's go. Let's do it. I'm ready.
So Miss Olympia is in the house. So I got a nice call, and I was with you guys last week in Boston.
Hey.
You did the gym hub.
Whoa. No, hold on. Let me stop this. What is this
that?
jewelry?
You know
That's the Jay Cutler Classic.
There you go.
Is that an all-access band?
Wait a minute.
We don't know.
Wait. What day was this?
It was Saturday.
And what's today?
Friday.
Why
Bro,
do you
I
have
showered,
this on 6 days? Have you not taken a shower in
showered.
6 days?
I showered.
I feel
I showered.
I feel special. No,
No.
it's meaning something, bro.
Imagine you see this in the Olympia stage this year. Imagine I have this at the Olympia stage.
No, listen.
I'm gonna
Listen, you're going to come back on next year this exact same time.
All right, so
and if that's still there.
I hope.
So
I mean,
more-
it's pretty strong though.
Maureen, how do we say your last name?
Blanquisco.
Blanquisco. You didn't know it?
No, I know, but
It's
I
like
want to know how she says it. Let me say it.
Blanquisco.
You say it.
Blanquisco.
Oh,
Is that
perfect.
good?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
perfect.
Now
it's your turn.
Your turn.
Blanquisco.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, close enough, right?
Good,
Terrible.
good.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, it was perfect. Maureen Blanquisco.
So I got the call, and you guys said I'm coming to Vegas. This was kind of a surprise to me. I was a little shocked because
I'm surprised
last
too.
minute.
I'm surprised too. It was a good tribe. It was really it was very quick. It was
So
4
the
hours.
truth is, you came here for what reason? Because it wasn't for us.
For Jay actually, just for Jay. Honestly,
You're important.
No,
How does it make you feel?
we had a
Can
we
we
had a
interview
nice sit down.
yeah.
You're
Nice
super
dinner.
determined.
A
You
nice
talked
dinner.
about a lot of your travels, a lot of the business. Excited for 2024. It seems like you've been super busy. Tell us a little bit about your scheduling, and this has probably been your most travel year yet, I think.
Yeah, I mean, since February, we've been traveling, actually. We traveled to Tanzania for 2 weeks, and we went to Istanbul, Spain, Tanzania, and then back to Spain. And I went to UK, and I went to FIBO, and then now I went here, and then Pittsburgh, New York Pro. And I have a appearance at AN Bar, Spain, in Bilbao.
Wow.
In Amsterdam.
That's
William
Francisco's doing, right? Or
You know, when you were in Tanzania,
Yeah.
I was in Mozambique.
I know. It was just right
I'm going
there.
back in-
how
It was-
far is that? How close is it?
They're actually close to each other,
Yeah,
but
it
I was in
was-
the southern part, so it's about an hour and a half, 2 hour flight.
It's really close.
I'm going back
though.
in December. So go again.
I'm going back to right after Olympia, actually. Yeah. 'cause-
For what is it? What's out there?
So we went there for, it's once in a lifetime experience. You know that. It's like safari. We went to, but we also went there to, it's a school. It's one of our friends' mom lives there for 15 years, and she created this school from scratch, literally like 400 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting ready for college, for example. And, it's Born to Learn. And it's an organization that she created.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible, actually. We went there and we learned some stuff. So we're going to come back there and actually give more. We're thinking to buy stuff and, and maybe donate it to the kids there.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really interesting. It's very interesting feeling.
It's good to be able to do something positive for people.
Oh, yeah, I want to do something because I feel like bodybuilding is very selfish sports.
What is in a way to be great, right?
This is more like another way of more giving than being selfish.
I know, but it's outside of what
Outside.
most people are doing, here in the U.S., right? I mean, it seems like you're never really on the ground in the U.S. I mean, I used to see more content from you guys when you were based in Gold's Gym Venice, but you've been on the road traveling, which is great for the brand. And honestly, you're doing it for a great reason, it sounds like. I didn't realize that. It's funny. We just had conversation. I didn't realize that's why you were there.
We love to travel. Like right after the show, I've been doing this since I started in fitness. I just go travel right away. After a show, I just I'm done with the show and I'm ready to do another thing.
Have you always been like that?
I've
Travel
always
bug?
been like that. Yeah. It's like every time I go out from home, I want to go home. And then when I'm staying at home, I want to leave.
Okay, now let's do. Where's home right now?
There's no home.
Okay,
Home
home's
is
a state of mind.
Home is where where you feel like home. Honestly,
Where you feel safe and
I don't even know where I'm literally live right now because I'm always in Spain. I'm in Norway. I'm in LA. So I don't really know.
Okay, now we're gonna reverse everything here.
Okay.
Where were you born?
Okay.
Tell us your story.
So I was born in the Philippines. Hey. So I was born there, and I moved to Norway when I was 12, 13. I moved to Norway because both of my parents was assigned in an oil company, oil rig. Because Stavanger, Norway is like an oil city where
My
I
attorney
live.
deals with that, actually. My attorney lives in Norway, so.
So both of my parents works in a platform, so I had to migrate. But the problem was that my grandmother passed when I was in the Philippines, so we were pretty much alone for like 2-3 years. Where I have a little brother and I have a big sister. We are 1 year apart, so we were alone for like good 3 years.
In Norway?
Yes, because we don't have papers. It takes time, to get a visa, especially we're minor. Like it takes time. I was not even like baptized yet, so I can't get a passport. So I need to get a passport and get a visa to go to Norway. So we were alone for a good 2-3 years, and then when we were ready to be shipped, so we just moved to Norway. About probably like 13 years old.
You were there. Wow. And where did you stay?
In the Philippines?
No, and when you went to
In
Norway.
Norway. In Norway, I stayed with my mom. She's been there like for a very long time. She's been like traveling a lot. I have more like a closer relationship to my grandma than to my mom. So that was the first time actually I stayed with her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And where are the siblings now?
They're all they're all in Norway right now.
Okay.
Yeah. My big sister, she have her own family right now. And my little brother is graduated. And my little sister is still together with my dad.
So you grew up in, was there a place you prefer? Norway or the Philippines?
Actually, I don't even remember Philippines anymore. I was too young. I feel like most of my life, I'm more like European.
Norway.
Yeah, then I mean, I'm still really Filipino by blood. I'm truly
speak
Filipino.
Tagalog?
I speak Tagalog fluent. It just I just can't remember anything in
So you speak Tagalog fluent. What about Norwegian?
Norwegian fluent.
Oh, look at this.
Hey. It's very useful though because when I go to Sweden and Denmark, I understand them.
I asked you if you spoke Spanish, because of
I'm
Francisco.
learning un poquito.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you guys talk?
Sign language.
For those that don't know, Fran's back here, he speaks Spanish.
Hola.
Because I can't understand Fran sometimes, so
I know.
so
I don't understand.
and,
him.
that's my biggest regret. People always ask like, "Hey, do you regret anything?" And they try to like pivot, they try to pin me down to a bodybuilding moment, or what I chose. And I always talk about the language barrier of when I travel, especially internationally. Like, I go to Germany, I've been to Brazil, and obviously the Latin countries. I wish I learned something besides
You can
English.
still learn.
I
you
made
could
this
still
commitment. So I said by the time I go back to Germany next year, I'm going to learn some German that I can
Really?
actually kind of communicate. Because
Eins,
listen, everyone
drei.
speaks English at most places,
true.
but it would be nice to have some sort of communication.
I think
in another language.
Spanish. I think you should learn
Well,
Spanish. 'cause
Urs,
Yeah.
the classic physique. He
he's
told me
Polish, right?
no, I think he's German, but he told me it's harder to learn German than he said it's the hardest language.
It's
I don't know if that's
yeah.
true though. You would know this.
Icelandic's the hardest.
I feel like Scandinavia. Yeah,
Okay.
Iceland for
Icelandic's
sure.
Yes,
For
it's the
sure.
hardest.
'Cause it's a
Icelandic
different-
or
Thailand-
Cantonese. Cantonese
Thailand,
has
Chinese.
9 tones. Because it's not like words, it's weird.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. Scandinavian is pretty hard actually, but I was young.
Young.
Like, you know how I learned Norwegian? They just throw me straight to a normal class.
And that's how you just were
That's-
quiet.
I swear they told me I live in Homorsok. Homorsok is a place where it's such a tiny village, honestly. Like it's like the end of the land. So it's just me and my sister and another girl from UK was the international like kids in that school. And they don't know what to do with us because it's like we don't have a special teacher where they can teach us like English and Norwegian like fluent. Because the teachers does speak English, but not like really good. So they're like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this kid. So what they said, okay, they're young. They absorb it like sponge. So let's just throw them in. They did that after, I think, a year and a half. I start talking in Norwegian, honestly.
That's the best way to do it, though,
Yes,
is just to
'cause
be
you have
thrown
no
in the middle
choice.
of it, right? So maybe I need to come stay with
Fran.
you and Fran. And,
No, just Fran.
Yeah. All right, so you're on the road, and Fran,
Yeah.
we can hang out in California and work out, right?
Yeah.
See, now you have an excuse to come visit more. You could say, "What are you doing?" I'm Jay's tutor.
Oh yeah, Regan. He in Valencia. We
Oh, he
stayed there
learned?
for a month. He speaks with people there in Spanish.
Who did?
Regan did.
Really? I didn't know that.
I swear, someone opened the door. He's like, "¿Qué pasa?"
Okay.
I'm
Oh, I
like,
mean, that's easy. Come on,
no,
even
he's
I can
talking
say that.
mañana.
Okay,
He was like
okay.
talking like, "Sí, sí, mañana." I'm like,
Oh, I'm sure you learned that.
no, actually, I'm learning Spanish now. Like, I didn't had any option either because his family doesn't speak English. None of them. So when I get there, and
Well, he
I
doesn't
had to stay there, and I'm like,
I'm surprised it's taken this long.
to learn Spanish.
Well, yeah, because he could barely speak English. So you should have learned by now. What's wrong? You already speak two. You should be able to pick
I
it up
start
quick.
understanding his own language. That's the thing,
So you went to school in Norway.
Yeah.
Did you play sports? Were you athletic? Tell us about school in Norway.
So since I was young, since probably when I was 6, I started judo. I'm one of those kids where I forced my parent to take me to sports.
Okay.
Like they didn't have to force me. I literally forced them. Hey, take me here. I was the one who's doing my research. So I think 6 years old, I went to judo for 2 years. And then I went, competed in swimming in elementary, competitive swimmer. I did backstroke. So I competed in national, regional, and international. But that time we had to move city. So I had to quit. So I've always been active. After that, I moved to Norway and I started doing my research. I'm like, I can't just stay put. It's impossible. So I did cheerleading. We competed in regional, nationals. So I did that for about 4 years until I felt like I don't do good with group. I feel like I do better alone as individual.
yourself, not a team sport.
Yeah.
I was the same.
Because I get really frustrated when they drop me from, I don't know, when they toss me, and then I get really annoyed. Like if we lose, I get very frustrated because I know it's not my fault.
Yeah.
So, and then I start, searching in YouTube what to do. I start, lifting weight here and there with my friends, and and I stumbled at this video, like Mr. Olympia. And it was India Paulino, actually. And I was like, I want to go there in that specific show. I wanted to go there, but I didn't know the process, right? Mm-hmm. So this is kind of interesting story because I looked for a team in Norway. In Norway that time,
Fitness isn't bodybuilding is kind of
Nothing.
forbidden a little bit. I feel like.
No, not a little bit. It's
Yeah.
forbidden.
Especially in Scandinavian countries.
It's forbidden, literally. We have some time where when a police see you buff, when they will take you to the police station and test you. If they just see a little buff, or a little shredded, that it's unnatural, So
Jay almost had a run in with that.
really,
I was booked to go to Sweden.
Sweden, yeah.
Back in 2010. I was Mr. Olympia. Tony Freeman went prior to me and he got arrested,
Yeah,
for being
that's
big.
normal.
So I canceled. It was a big payday for me and it was an expo and they advertised me and I had to put out a public apology. So I had to renege on going and everyone kind of understood. But at the time, my attorney flew over and he actually kind of smoothed it over. And but I was Mr. Olympia. It wasn't the best publicity at the
That's
time,
really
right?
bad, though.
And
Yeah.
I remember the first time I had Sean Roden go to Sweden, and we were nervous about it. He just competed in the Arnold in 2017, the Arnold the Arnold Spain, and he went over and did a guest appearance, and there was police there, and I actually started talking to them, and they're like, yeah, it was really bad for a long time, but apparently they said something like the chief of police at the time had a problem with it, but now it's okay. So since then, Jay's been twice, Sean went twice, and now people are
every
coming in
December
now.
we go.
But we've never been to Norway, so I don't know how it is there.
And we are invited to go, but it's just we haven't really put together the process
Norway
yet.
or
Yeah,
Sweden?
we've been invited to go. Yeah,
I feel like Sweden is a little more open than Norway.
but there's
in my
interest.
opinion.
I mean, there's definitely interest there. It's just it's a smaller
Yeah.
area, right? But fitness is growing
It's growing
tremendously,
now,
and I'm sure
like-
you've put it on the map coming from there, right?
I mean the federation, the NPC actually, because I came there last year after I won the Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
2 years, 2022. So I came there 2023 before the Olympia, and I did a seminar actually, like a posing seminar, and a bunch of girls came. And I was like, whoa, surprise, you know.
Yeah.
But apparently,
So let's go to your. You saw
You
India
found
Paulino,
you saw India,
yeah.
and you're like, I can do this.
and what was the process? Since at the time in Norway there wasn't anything. So explain this process.
so there is gym. There is this. So I was looking for a coach, right? Because coach there is like PT. You know, they don't know anything about bodybuilding. It's a different process. So I went to this. Someone told me there's going to be like a bodybuilding gym in this city. So just go there and ask. So I went in there, and then there's this guy, and then I asked this guy that if he can coach me, because back then we call it bikini fitness. And this guy was like, okay, show me what you get, and then I just kind of like put my bikini on, did like whatever pose that I know that time, and I remember he told me like, I think you shouldn't compete in bikini because it's such a mainstream and you won't stand out. And I'm like, okay. So I just left the gym and went to the other gym right away. Those things doesn't really bother me, like it doesn't. Some girls would be like, oh my God,
It's an insult.
I don't feel insulted at all. Like for me, okay, whatever, that's your opinion. So I went straight to the other gym. So I went there, explained them, because the thing is, I told them I want to compete at the Olympia, but I didn't know the process.
You came in there and
Big
sounded
dreams.
like a pipe dream. Like, who's this girl think she is?
I was like, I want to compete at this show, I
Yeah.
just showed them the thing that I saw.
Yeah.
And then they were like, I didn't know why they're looking at me like that. But luckily, they were nice enough to like, okay, the first show is going to be in 5 months. That will be Norway Open. So it's open for everybody. Russia, Czech Republic can come and stuff like that. And you can do your debut there. And I'm like, yes, And then 5 months. So I prepped really hard. I was like, okay, if I finish this and won here, they said I can go internationally. I'm like really prepping my ass off. Like I prep really like I have this one goal and one goal only. It's like the Olympia stage, right? So yeah, so 5 months after, they didn't see me for the whole 5 months. I only sent check-ins. So I came back to the gym and they're like, whoa, what happened to you, And I'm like, no, I've just been working out. I didn't know because I don't know anybody there. So nobody's in Norway. They're very like reserved. They don't like, I don't know. I don't want to sound bad, but especially for me being foreigner, they don't like kind of cheer for you. Like they're not happy for you. Oh my God, you look so good. They don't really do that at the very beginning, especially they don't know you. Mm-hmm. But once they get to know you, they start like kind of like they're cold culture.
Well, that's how it is. When you meet the people, they're very stone faced.
Yeah.
A lot of people, so sometimes it's the demeanor isn't
Yes.
so inviting, right?
Yes. And I think it's kind of like a good thing for me. It became my motivation in a way because I work better through anger, if you know what I mean. My preps always driven like really good by those type of people. You know what I mean? So I went to that show. I went to this Norway Open. That would be my debut. I'd compare in debut and senior, and I won both, and I won this overall. So that was like kind of, they were shocked. They're like, well, okay, maybe you actually have a chance. So I just like continue doing what I do, and I end up turning pro the next year, actually.
Where was that?
San Marino Pro.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he
there?
was there.
Yeah. It was, Sean and I actually went over there to have a meeting, and he did an appearance. And I remembered seeing her. It was an amateur Olympia.
Yeah.
And I remembered seeing her win. And I was like, okay, this girl's got a lot of potential. And then the next day, you did the pro.
Yeah.
And you should have won.
No,
And they didn't let you. That was my
Really?
opinion.
Oh, that's nice of you. Thank you.
No,
I play
remembered-
sport though. I'm happy.
me and Sean and Dexter were sitting there, and I remembered saying, like, this girl just turned pro, and she should
So
probably win the show.
you did the whole Arnold thing. So the amateurs are allowed to compete in the Open if
The
they
next
win
day.
the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was actually the case. And you
Yeah.
got fourth in your first pro. show.
That's pretty cool, though. Yeah. I'm like, whoa, I'm top 5. Hey, you know, the first call out, they called me out.
I remember, you know, and we've had conversations about this because I remembered seeing her and she did really well, but then she kind of didn't do much for a while. She went quiet.
Yeah, but I saw her in an Olympia. What year was that?
That's 2019. I had a break 2018.
Okay.
Yes.
I couldn't compete. I was like,
you just why?
I was broke.
Oh, okay. It was a financial thing.
It was financial thing, and plus I was working 2 jobs actually, because I was also taking care of my brother, and he was under my custody. So I'm like.
So what kind of jobs were you working at the time?
I was a kindergarten teacher.
Wow.
And that's why I handle him pretty good.
Yeah, no. But that's why, I mean, your attachment to the kids, I'm sure, too, is...
I love kids, actually. And also, I worked also with the old people house. Perfect.
So and I caught you saying something there I want to know. So you had custody of your brother. How did you explain, like, that's not normal for a sibling to have custody of their sibling?
So I never, how to say it? My mom is a good mom. Okay, it's just you know, sometimes people have issues, you know, like you know,
all of our families have issues.
I mean, our parents is just old, like it's just a number, you know. It's not really like they've all figured out already. So I totally understand what is she dealing with, but also my sister could have gotten my brother, but she have her own family already.
Okay, she
was studying to be a doctor actually, and she just got a kid, so I had to step up and just took my brother. I mean, I love my brother. Like I would
how old is your brother now?
Right now he's 19.
Okay.
No, he's 20 right now.
And at this time he was how old?
He was I think he was 16.
Yeah, so still in high school. And
he was underage, and I had to, I mean, I'm used to kids, right? I raised him when I was in the Philippines. So I'm kind of used to him already, you know, and he's such a good kid. Like I could never ask a teenager like that is such an easy like to take care of.
So you got custody of your brother.
Yeah.
So at that point you weren't able to compete for a while, because I remembered you and I having a conversation, and you were just like, I had to take time off because I have to work and I have to make sure my brother, if I remember right, I could be wrong, he went in the military.
He wanted to go to military, but the thing is, he couldn't because he had a shoulder injury. Because if you have some kind of injury, you cannot go to military.
I remember you saying, I can't compete until my brother's 18 and he's off.
Yes.
I have a responsibility.
Yes, exactly. So, because if not, they're gonna have to send him to, you know, a foster home, which I will never let that happen to him. And I wanted to see him like. But that time he was completely like broken, my brother, because my mom really did like wrong decisions, and it kind of like affected him as a teenager, you know. So seeing him change to that, it was really heartbroken. Like I had to build him up, build his confidence and all that, like from scratch. It was very difficult.
You know, I went through a lot. I don't ever talk about it. Probably never have. But, you know, my mom, when I was 4, you know, my parents got separated. My mom moved away. You know, she was moved to Florida. I was in Massachusetts. So it's like we had 7 kids, you know. So my brothers and sisters who, you know, there was a 10-year age gap, they pretty much watched over me because my dad was working. He was gone. And I didn't understand, you know. And, you know, I went to therapy for this and everything because I couldn't understand at that age, you know. So it's when we talk about family matters, I mean, I think everyone has.
Everybody.
It's very rare you have, and I don't ever talk about it. I mean, just when you speaking about it, it's very honorable what you did, right? Responsibility. So it's like you had to pull out what your dream is. I mean, being Miss Olympia was probably a dream. I can't wait to get to the point where you actually won, but because, you know, you mentioned 2018, right? And that's when I saw you compete, and did you get 9th or?
My first Olympia, I got 9th. Yeah.
And I called Dave Worley and I said,
"Yeah,
this girl has it."
Thank you.
I said, "You have to shoot her." And somehow, I don't know how I even found you. I don't know if you were visiting Gold's Gym at the time or you weren't living here.
I was dating him.
But when did you start dating?
At the Olympia.
What? Okay.
We met there, yeah.
So it's kind of funny because were you there when Dave shot her for the
Yes,
first
we
time.
did.
So I said, you need to locate this girl and shoot her. And it's like, we could have shot anyone
Jay,
of the
you have
top.
no idea how flattered I was.
And I was
You
like,
have
this
no
is
idea, dude.
this
Yeah.
girl is a star. So he shot you for JTV, and I don't even know. I mean, I forget how long. That was right after the Olympia, right?
I was really flattered. I actually thought that Fran talked to you and asked
No.
you.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought you asked them actually.
No,
I had no idea who she was or anything, but I knew she was from Norway. So I'm like, oh, she's in Norway. But then she popped up at Gold's Gym, and I was like, you have to shoot this girl.
I remember when that got done, and I was like, "That's the girl that won in San Marino."
Yeah.
Yeah, everything just kinda
it all
like
clicked
makes-
together because like I said, I remembered
Aw.
seeing her turn pro, and I was like, "Okay, she's standing out." And I know you didn't win. The girl from New Zealand won the show in San Marino.
No, it was from Russia. Yana.
I
Yana
thought-
Smith.
Oh, no,
The one
girl-
from New Zealand
that's
was second.
Second,
Yeah.
yes. I'm
She,
forgetting her name.
Sheena James.
And I
yeah.
remembered seeing that, and I was like,
I
"That
still
girl
ha-
should win," and you didn't win.
Thank you.
But when that happened, I was like, "That's her." And that at that time, you were like, "I'm able to compete now. My
Yeah.
responsibility's done to my family. Now I can compete." And then we saw the trajectory.
I just feel like, competition will always be there. That's how I feel. Because before I had to graduate also. I had to graduate college before I'd be able to compete. Because, I feel very pressured because most of my family is either engineer. My little brother is engineer now. So, and my sister is like in the medicine side. My mom is in the medicine side. My dad is engineer. So I felt a little like, I don't want to feel like I'm some kind of, like I just kind of block the
Exist.
yeah, I don't want to be like that Asian kid. You know what I mean? Because in Asian family, it's like that. It's true. It's just like that. So I had to graduate first before I became able to prep, actually. So I knew that it's always going to be there. You know what I mean? And then suddenly this thing happened, and then I have to take care of my brother too at the same time. So it kind of like, I had this break here and there.
So after San Marino, what show did you qualify to do your first Olympia?
So unfortunately, that was the year where you have to do shows to like by score.
Points.
Do you remember that? Like
Points,
that year,
right?
by points.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was really fortunate that all the shows that I went for, which is Alicante, Dennis James, Miami Pro, and Tampa Pro, I won all of that.
Yeah.
So he gave me the ticket to actually go to Olympia.
Yeah.
Because-
So you had more than enough.
No, it was not more than enough because so after Miami, and I was like, yes, my coach was like, okay, you're finally going to Olympia. This is great. And then these other girls, I'm not sure how it works, but until I started
was
going
tiers.
lower again.
Those tears.
Because other girls are passing you with
Yes,
points.
and
Five bigger shows, probably.
yes. So we were like, oh my God, I was already prepping for the Olympia. I went off season literally. And then, and then we're like, okay, you have only one chance to go to Olympia. Either you go to Tampa or Brazil. But I was broke. I couldn't go to Brazil. Tampa, it was hardly. I couldn't go there. I had to like borrow money from people actually to be able to pay for my hotel, and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, let's go to Tampa. And my coach was like, you can't go to Tampa. It's a long line. It's like, how much 50 girls. So she's like, there's no way. Like, I mean, it's not like she didn't believe in me. It's more like,
Just being realistic.
yeah, I mean, I'm not really known competitor. I'm from Norway, but I told her, and in Brazil, it was only 5 girls. So I have more chance to, qualify. But I'm like, I can't do it. So we just have to go for Tampa. So we went to Tampa, and then I got my ticket there and a crown.
Listen, you know what? When you got the goods, you got the goods.
It's
period.
pretty inspiring, though, like, because you're like, hey, I'm just going to lay it on the line, right? Your confidence was
I mean,
there.
fuck it.
Yeah.
It is what it
Yeah.
is.
Hey, listen, if you can't win Tampa, what's the odds you doing well at the Olympia?
Exactly.
Were you one of these ones, though, when you hit the Olympia stage, like, oh, my gosh, I made it. I don't care how I place.
No,
I'm just
I
here.
mean,
Like, what was your expectations? Because so many people are like, I just want to get to the Olympia stage. But, like, I got second to last my first Olympia, and I was devastated. I'm like, man, I'm not that good. Or I questioned my ability, right?
yeah. Yeah.
I thought I was going to get called out with Ronnie Coleman and Flex Wheeler and all these guys, and I was at the last call out, and it was so disappointing to me. So what was your mindset going in, since your dream and you're like, I just want to get to this Olympia?
I'm like you. I'm very like competitive. I think all of the girls who is competing at the Olympia is super competitive. I think so. I don't think none of them thinks like I'm here to just for experience.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. But for me, I'm very realistic at the same time. So I set goals that is very realistic to me. So that Olympia, my goal was to get into top 10 so that I can step on the real stage. Because the real stage is like, for me, that's the only Olympia
it's
for
a
me.
Saturday night is the top 10,
Like
right?
it's the biggest stage, right? Like, I mean, I'm not going to Olympia just to be on the prejudging stage, that was my goal that year. So for the next year, I was like telling myself, okay, this year I want to crack the top 5, if top 6, great. But my initial plan was to crack the top 5, and I placed 4th. And the next year, I was like, okay, I want to crack the top 3. That was my plan, and I won the show. So I'm more realistic, but also competitive at the same time. You know what I mean?
So going into your second year, what shows did you do the second year after your first Olympia?
I didn't compete because of the pandemic.
Okay, so 2020, 2019, 2020.
And you were in California then, right?
Yeah, we were having a blast.
I know. I watched you guys live the life on social media. It was like either you were on the beach or you were in the
everywhere.
gym or
In Spain.
Oh.
We were stuck in Spain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There was
Yeah.
a very long pandemic.
But I'm like, man, these guys live the life,
We always try to live the life. It's such the life
Tomorrow's
is so
not guaranteed.
short. It's so short.
It's gone.
We talk about time all the time. Like we talk about like all the time. So
Well, when
that
you're-
freaks us out.
Wait till you're my age, and then you'll talk more. We talk about this all the time. So Spain versus LA.
Spain.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not even a question. California's a total dump.
No, listen, it's still. I mean, she's in Gold's Gym. I mean, this is
I
her.
love golds. Okay.
You
Yeah.
tell me the first time you walked into Gold's Gym Venice.
I was like, whoa, shoot.
Who
Like,
did you meet first at Gold's Gym Venice of someone of like known person? Fitness. Who was like the first person? Think
I
about
don't
this.
really know. It's like a bunch of them. Like Silvio,
Yeah.
Big Will was
Yeah.
there.
Michael Hearn.
Everybody.
He's there every day.
Mike Arnold.
Arnold.
was there
What happened when you saw
too.
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I was like, whoa, Arnold is here. I don't know, like, it's like I see him on TV,
Yeah.
This is not, especially in Norway, you don't see anybody there.
Or
Samir.
Benoit, yeah.
So it was like, especially 2019, I kind of like lived the last drop of the best year. Like the last drops. After that,
then
it's
people
just,
Yeah, it
slowly
changed.
started
I know.
moving
Yeah,
away.
it
Yes.
changed. Yeah.
so I'm very fortunate enough to experience that last drop. It was fun because I saw like the pros training there, and I'm like, oh my god.
Did you see the actors and all those type of people too?
Yeah, I
or-
saw like Van Damme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was floored when I met Van Damme. That was my childhood hero.
Really?
Yes,
I mean,
and
he
it-
was really cool though.
Yes. He came up to me the first time. He's like, I'm a huge fan. This was years ago. And then I have it on YouTube. Actually, Dave and I were shooting just a few years ago, and I was like in the back, and I didn't want to bother him. And I was training, and I said something to his friend, and I'm like, man, that guy really was an inspiration. He was the reason I started him as Stallone. And he came over.
Wow.
And like, because his friend's like, hey, Jay Cutler's here. And so he came over and he's like, hey, man, so we took a picture together. He was in my video and everything. And it's just so cool. I've seen Dwayne Johnson there, came up to me.
No
and
way.
Yeah.
I've never seen the Rock.
So, I mean, and of course, Arnold, you see Arnold there training, and usually he goes pretty early in the morning. So
Super
I don't get
early,
to see him as much. But I always wonder, when you say like there's no real home, but like what your choices are. Like Norway, is there still like, obviously your family is still
yeah,
positioned
Norway
there?
because of my family. Pretty
And what
much.
about the Philippines? I mean,
I would love to go back just to like. I'm pretty sure when I come back, I would feel like home
it's his
again.
bucket list thing.
No, I when I lived in Hong Kong, I used to go all the time. The Philippines is the most beautiful country in the world. We used to go to
It's
Cebu and
nice.
Boracay and Palawan. And,
Wow, you know what's
I would
up?
fly because Cebu Airlines would go from Macau
Yeah, it's
right-
direct.
for $20.
It's so cheap.
So I used to take a backpack and be like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm going to the Philippines for a day." And the money was so
Did you
strong.
go?
The Filipino peso
wanna
at the
go?
time was like 30 to 1. So you could go there and you could stay on the beach for like $30.
It's really cheap.
It
I'm gonna
was-
take him. Hopefully this Christmas.
in the
though.
next year. I'm going to go back. I'm going to make sure to
Let
take
us know
time.
so we can just go.
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna go to Africa again in December, and maybe in January go from there straight to
The Philippines. Yeah, we can do like New Year there.
it's
I wanna go.
beautiful. It's
I
so
mean,
beautiful.
I still have family
because
there,
there's
you
like
know.
thousands of islands, and there's like
yes, thousands of dialects too.
yes,
Really?
yeah, you know,
Yeah, like you know what's funny? Hundreds of dialect. They understand me, the Tagalog, because I'm from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
city, but I don't understand them. You know how funny is that?
you can live in a country and speak, and they don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, for it. I don't understand
But
them.
but everybody there speaks English.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because it's mandatory in
Kids.
school from the
It's
unless
English.
someone's a lot older, but everyone speaks English.
Yeah. Yeah, in some cities speak Spanish actually.
Wow.
You see, I've been telling Jay he needs to go too.
You need.
You would love it.
How long is that flight from here, though?
It's not short.
it.
every time we go on a flight,
Yes.
I'll be like, "Hey, we got to offer." He's like, "How far is the flight?" He's like, "I don't want to go." I'm like,
Oh my god.
But you know
it's
what?
probably-
I'm good as long as if there was
No, you're not good.
No, if there was if you could just zoom me there.
Yeah,
Then
like
we
a
go.
jumper.
Oh,
I would
I
too.
would go to every country there is, but the
me
problem
too.
is the damn flights. And
I know.
And listen, we fly comfort, right? We always fly the best.
seats on.
You see,
Yes.
at least you do. I
But-
fly with Spirit.
But I
At the
no,
end.
but that Spirit doesn't fly there.
You're crazy. Hell,
So you know the whatever it is it 20 hours or is it longer than that?
25.
probably 15
Wow. Okay.
nonstop. from-
Okay,
Non-stop, yeah.
But you can't get that time back. We talk about the time. You can't get that time back, right?
you can make up for it when you land.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
so much things to
See,
do.
you know what I've wanted to do for a long time was to go back there because I lived in Hong Kong for 2 years. When you go, you can go to the Philippines and then
Yeah.
go to Vietnam and go
It's
to
just
Cambodia
so
and go to Laos
close.
and go to Indonesia and Bali. You could go spend 2 months there.
That's
And
true.
it will be the time of your life.
That's true.
And you'll probably spend $1,000.
That's so true.
Really?
That's
It's so cheap,
true.
man. You have no
It's
idea.
so cheap.
So the money goes a long way.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, didn't
yeah.
who? Isn't it? I think it's 50 to 1 now in the Philippines. It's not 30 to 1. Someone told me that recently. Went to the
50
Philippines. 50 to 1, the US dollar.
I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
but it's really cheap though. Like
you can rent a house there for like $300 a month.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
Listen, you'd still be broke though. He'd still be like, I got to make enough money. You can get you a little tuk tuk. You can just go zooming around town.
Uber Eats.
Are you a skateboard? Do you ride a skateboard or?
Yeah, I longboard.
Okay, that's right. I saw that. Yeah.
I, did.
I was just gonna say, where did that come from?
Yeah.
It's
Skateboard.
so
Because
I don't ever remember hearing everyone go,
because
you
I
skateboard,
see
bro?
I see you on the beach like
I did longboard. I ski.
well Norway you have to ski.
Yeah.
You cross country ski or
Just ski down
Oh,
to the
okay.
hill.
Downhill ski.
Like from my house to my school, actually.
Really?
Yeah, when it's winter back then, when I was in elementary, I skied down to school.
wow.
Then how did you get home?
I just lifted with me.
No, did you walk up the hill with your?
Up.
You,
With small little tiny
so
skis.
she has a legit story like our grandparents. I used to walk to school up the hill in the snow. Like I
That's
used to
like-
ski.
You know how I learned how to ski?
Someone just push you down the hill.
My dad.
Yeah. What did he do?
Well, it was my stepdad actually, but he's my dad for me. I call him Papa, and he's like a Viking. He's like white, tall guy. So we went to Sweden, and in the border of Sweden and Norway, that's like the best ski place actually. So we live in the top of the mountain, and we have to go down to be able to lift, right? So my mom, I'm scared of mom. I'm terrified of my mom. So she was like, okay, put on your ski. I'm like, okay. But I don't know how to ski. I'm from the Philippines. I just got here from the Philippines.
And how old are you at this time?
I was
13.
13.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm not kidding. It's not like a small little loop. I'm talking about like a big ass loop to go down.
Diamond trails, you know.
So, but we live there. There's no way me going down unless I go ski down, right? So my dad is like, okay, just put on, go. I'm like, I look at my dad and I look at my mom, and my mom is like, you know, Filipino mom is like, you better go down. She was like this to me. She looked at me like, you go down now, and I'm like, okay. I just ski down, literally.
Did you cross your skis?
I just go.
Did you tumble?
No, I just really hold myself like.
You know what I'm thinking of? That old movie, Better Off Dead?
Yeah.
Where he's at the top of it. He's like, go. And he gets down and all of a sudden he just.
I
That's what I'm
was
picturing
afraid
you.
of that, so I just stand. I just lock my knee as much as I can, and just until I stop. It is what it is.
You don't ski, do you?
Somebody needs to take this podcast and do a recreation with a cartoon and show you up there. Go.
There's no way I'm falling off. I break my legs, If you fall, I break my legs. So
I can see how the Olympia was just an easy task for your lifestyle.
Oh, 100%.
Like now I can understand why you said I'm going to Olympia stage. Like that was because these kids come to me and they're like, I'm going to be better than you. That's what or I'm going to win the Olympia more times than you. And it's like they never competed before.
way.
So it's like when you're telling me this, I'm thinking in my head like this sounds like a lot of these kids that come to me and say, oh, I'm going to have a bodybuilding career. I'm going to be Mr. Olympia. And it's so I say you have to walk before you can run, right? True. So it's like get there in steps, right?
True.
But you were like dead set on winning the big one.
Okay, pandemic. You weren't able to compete.
Yeah.
When did you realize that, okay, I've done these other shows, I can go to the Olympia and I can be competitive? When did that happen?
Oh, when it happened?
When did that happen?
In my first international show. Okay. Before I turned pro, actually. My first international show was in Loaded Cup, Germany.
Germany, okay.
So that was my first, outside Norway show. I just competed. They told me, you want to compete in this show? I'm like, okay, let's go. So I went there. I competed. So back then, you have to compete by height, right? And you only one in the overall can get the pro card. So it's 7 heights, right? So I'm the shortest for sure. And I won the overall junior and senior there. And it's hundreds of bikini, literally. And I felt like, but I won it in a way like it wasn't like a hard
wasn't close
task for me. It was hard because they all look amazing too. But I felt like that time I'm like, I will be competitive. I didn't say I can be competitive. It's more like I will be competitive.
Okay. So now, what was the first major show that you won as a pro that made you feel like next time I go to the Olympia, I'm not just getting it, I'm going to battle to win? Like, when did you get that feeling that I can actually win this show, the Olympia?
So there's 2 shows.
Okay.
One is Tampa Pro.
Okay.
That was difficult
because
because it was
girls,
Olympians.
Yeah.
It was like top Olympians was there. Some of them play second Olympia.
Like, who did you beat? Do you have any names that you beat?
I can't remember, but I know Romina Bass was there,
Yeah.
and she plays second, I remember, at Olympia. Casey Samsel, I love her physique. She's a nice person. And, the top Olympians was there. And it was 50 girls too. So, and I was coming out of nowhere. The judges doesn't know me. They don't know who's going to come from Norway. When they announced Norway, they expect blonde girl and, and I come Asian short girl. So he's like, I don't know how I'm going to play that game, But, and also the other one was my first Arnold.
Okay.
My first Arnold was, I placed second. And I didn't expect that because they always tell me it's going to be tough show because it's Arnold's.
Invitation.
Invitations.
Who won that show?
Laura Lee.
Laura Lee. And that was in 20 or 21?
21.
21.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you're getting second place at the Arnold, you're a legit contender for the Olympia.
Yeah, that's
so
how.
So that year, what place did you get at the Olympia in 2021?
I won. Oh, no. I placed, was it? I can't remember. My first, I won.
No, you won in 22.
Fourth.
I thought.
He said fourth.
22 you won.
Was it fourth? In my first.
No. Huh?
Fourth.
In my first Arnold?
No, Olympia, not
Oh,
Arnold.
yeah, Olympia. Yeah, 9th place.
9th place.
And then I placed fourth.
And then fourth at the Olympia.
Yeah.
And then after, so you getting fourth, did that give you the confidence saying, oh, I can come back here and I can
That's what she
win
said.
the show?
She said, she moved up everyone until.
Yeah. Well, when I say I want to place top 10 and then I want to place top 5, and I kind of see where the direction is going and how my body is responding each year.
Okay.
I kind of knew.
So talk about going into the 2022 Olympia. You go into this show and you probably believe that you had a chance to win, and maybe other people didn't believe that because Jen was.
No one did, though.
No one did because Jen was the reigning champion.
I kind of like the fact that
because you have no stress. Jen was a reigning champion, right?
Yeah.
Where was this show now?
In Vegas.
Okay.
In Vegas, 2022.
Because I remember when this happened, I was standing off to the side, and I saw it happen. I was standing backstage off to the side when they announced her winning. Because I would assume a lot of people thought Jen was going to repeat.
Yeah.
But you shocked the world. So
I mean,
about
I
what
feel
happened.
like anybody in top 5 can win, honestly, because it's like everybody looks amazing there, you know? But I was surprised that it's going to happen that year. I knew I can win someday, but I wasn't expecting it's going to be soon. As I was aiming for top 3, you know what I mean? Because top 4 and then jump suddenly like the first is kind of like unrealistic for me, but top 3 will be like a good start, you know?
So talk about that moment when it's just you and Jen standing there.
Oh,
I hear your name.
So I was happy. I felt like I won already. Just to place like to be
Top 2.
holding her hands, top 2, be called like by Bob, and it's like for me, if they announce me as a second, I'm like, bye. I'm happy, you know, like I'm partying tonight, you know. Yeah. I was actually caressing her hands that time. I remember that clearly, and I was telling her, "You got this, girl." You know, for me, I'm like, I'm winning. For me, I'm happy.
You've already won being the top 2
Yeah.
in your mind.
Even top 3, I'm already like happy actually. So when they announced it, I'm like, I actually cursed when they announced my name because I was so surprised. I was like, what?
And what'd you say?
I was like, what? Yeah, they were crying actually. Yeah, they were crying. Yeah. It was such a strong team that year. Like what I have behind me, it was freaking strong actually. So Regan was there too. It felt really like.
You guys spent a lot of time here in Vegas.
Yeah.
You stayed with Regan a lot.
Yeah. We love Regan.
No, I remember that year going all that. That's when we all traveled around together.
That's true, in Boston.
Because I remember you guys, I booked all the flights and we all went to the Arnold. And then we all went to Boston.
So true. That's so
and we all
true.
flew together. We were all stuck in the seats.
But you
by
won
each other.
Boston Pro, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she won Boston too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went to Arnold and got second, and then you won Boston the next. It was a week or 2 weeks later.
was the
1
next
week.
week.
Yeah.
So that was like okay, and that qualified you, right?
Yeah.
For
the Olympia
Yeah.
that year.
Yeah. It was kind of funny because I remember going to the airport and it was Regan and me, and you, and
Milos.
Rodrigo,
Milos.
Milos and his wife. There was all of us, and we're all on this flight together. It was like the Griswolds family Christmas.
Yeah.
we're all sitting by each other on the plane, and we go to Boston, and then you
That's
ended
so
up coming
true.
in, and
That was
and then-
fun though.
and Akon
Well, that's how
was
you
there.
establish a relationship, with obviously Nate and Jim Hub, and now you've been back there for
Yes,
2.
yes.
I mean, you've been back there for 2 posing
seminars
seminars now, right? 2 different
I
years.
think I will be coming there every year though.
Yeah.
It's like a tradition for me
3
right
years in a row
now.
now for you. You
If-
competed, and then back to back for him.
Right? They become like a family. Like Jim
Yeah.
Hub, Boston Gym, it's like they
And that
become like
all
family.
started, when we went to the Boston Pro. I
That's
remember he had
true.
kind of just
That's so
opened the
true.
gym, and Urs was there. Everyone went there and trained. I mean,
Yeah, they all
opened
competed.
That's so
Urs
doors.
won. I think Urs won that show, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Urs won, and who won men's open?
I think
William
Bonnick won.
Bonnick won.
Yeah, William did.
That was a fun trip. And then on the way home, everyone just went different,
Just disappeared.
scattered different directions.
That's so true.
You guys all flew on like JetBlue or Spirit or something. I was like, I ain't flying on that airline.
Hey,
I flew by myself on a different airline. I was like, have fun, guys. I'll book your
know.
flight, but I'm going by myself.
I know.
We had fun though. It was a good trip.
Who do you consider your fiercest competitor? Like, if you had to compare, you said any of the girls can win, but like, do you look at someone and say, this person drives me? Ronnie Coleman was very, he was a super driver for my success, and listen, Dexter did. And so I look at, like, is it the people that, like, is it Laura Lee who beat you at the Arnold? Is it Jen Dory, who now is the reigning? And obviously you guys went back and forth. I mean, you were second to her the last time, right?
Yeah. I get what you mean, but
Wait. Is it still individual where you're like, hey, I'm just going for me, and like, do these girls, do they give you a certain comfort, like backstage, or you know, is there certain people you stay in touch with, or is it?
I came in touch with Jennifer actually.
Okay.
I talked to a bunch of pros actually. We do text and send each other's memes and say, hey babe, how are you? We do text each other. But for me, I think that I'm happy that the top Olympians are putting their A game, because that's giving me the motivation to put my A game. I'd rather play with with the big girls rather than everybody is like unmotivated. I think that motivates me a lot, but I don't really feel any like pressure.
Competition, like,
No,
I want to beat this person, or this person's gonna, you know, I'm like, they're stepping
I
up.
don't really care.
Like, you look at like an Amy Delgado who's
She looks
winning
amazing.
now,
Yes.
and like you say, wow. Or you look at Ashley's,
Oh,
you know,
Ashley
how
is
long
always good.
she's like the GOAT, right?
Yeah, she's
Of-
always good. Anyways, no, I don't really. At the end of the day, it's not my decision, right? The only thing that I can control is what I can do, like my prep, my dieting, my cardio. If I do that on point, and whatever the outcome is it is what it is, because it's not up to me, right? At least I did my job. The worst thing for me is to go in the backstage pumping, and I'm like, shoot, I should have trained glutes more, or I should have diet harder. That's my biggest fear. So I've never been in that position where I'm like pissed off like that. You know?
How often are you working on your posing, like, and working as you get close to a show? It seems like we see a lot of updates of what you're posing and everything else. Is it like a daily thing for a bikini competitor?
I don't recommend it, but I don't really practice posing. Like
Yeah, right. I'm gonna believe you. Know,
you
go in the
have
bathroom.
you have incredible stage presence,
so
right?
yeah.
That's one thing that I think you can.
That's the je ne sais quoi.
But she
What
can.
is that?
You can
Je ne sais quoi.
You can capture eyes with your walk and your ability to. When we always talk about the comfort level on stage,
Yes.
I don't know if anyone does it better than what you do.
You know what it is? Honestly, I don't have stage fright ever. Like when I'm not bullshitting you guys. When I'm in the backstage and about to step the stage, I don't feel.
There's no emotions of,
I
like,
try to scare
anxiety.
myself. I try to sometimes, because I'm like, hey, you know, do you feel
You're
anything
here,
or what?
yeah.
Like but I'm fully aware of what everything that I'm doing on the stage. I'm there every time I step. Like every step I take, I'm thinking what to do. Okay, now I'm gonna smile. Now I'm gonna, I'm there. I'm not like zooming out. You know what I mean?
Je ne sais quoi is when somebody has the it factor. You can't explain
Oh.
it. It's just, it comes natural. Some people have to be taught things. Some people it's natural. And when
That
someone
sounds
walks
good.
out,
That sounds.
it's what, when I worked in the music industry, we'd always say that person has a je ne sais quoi. They have the it factor. They're going to be a star no matter what. And there's certain people that you're just born with it.
Since I was young, I'm like I'm a performance. Like my grandma always put me on the table and I just entertain her friends. Literally, they give me a mic and I like to perform. Like it's my thing. If I could stay on the stage, if bikini actually do like backflips and stuff like that, I would do it. You know what I mean? Like I like to perform. It doesn't scare me. Stage never scare me. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like an advantage. I like it. I like that I'm not scared, because when I look at the judges and I look at the thousands of people and I'm like, yeah, baby. You know, like,
I know, but how you just did you do posing seminars all that, but you
Yeah.
just did one last week. How do you spill that energy over to the people? Because you see that they're kind of like, they feel awkward sometimes. Number one, walking in heels, right?
Yeah.
You know, you have to practice that. But how, like, what do you tell them? Like, how do you tell them not to be nervous? Or, I mean, a lot of these girls came that were competing the next day, right? So they wanted to, okay, your walk, are you fixing things? Is it the smiling and feeling that comfort level? Like, how do you, like, what kind of energy do you spill off to these people to try to make them feel more comfortable on the stage?
So, secret, gotta go to my seminar. Just kidding.
Okay.
No.
When's the next one? Is it-
$29.99. You can pay. She takes Dogecoin.
And you do
and
online
Filipino
coaching,
pesos.
right? Too, also, right?
I prefer like
in person.
because
same with us.
I swear it's different. It's not like, okay, do this, do that. No, it's really different if you do like online and like at actual posing. No, but what I do with them, first of all, when I see someone shy, I like to break the ice right away. Like, really hug them first. Hey, I'm Maureen, nice to meet you. Like, I want them to feel as comfortable as possible. And when you can see they're starting to loosen up, and my posing seminar or my posing coaching, it contains first the mandatory pose. Because if you cannot do the mandatory pose, you cannot do the transition as good as you want. It won't be flowy if you can't do that front and back pose. It is what it is. After that, when she mastered that, we do the transition. After transition, we do the walk if she needed to do the walk. I'm a little like, I terrorize them a little bit about the posing and the walking. I make them repeat.
Well, you have to. I mean, this is
to.
your background. It's stemming from, like
I
you
care.
just talk about. Yes.
I really do care. Like, I don't want them to walk like that,
Awkward,
like,
yeah.
I really want them to do great. And you could tell, like, my clients, I always put a little, like, splash of Maureen.
Greatness. A splash
like
of greatness.
So you can tell, oh, that's Maureen's client.
So
I like to do that.
I'm noticing something here in you.
What are you
I'm going to take it in a different direction here.
Okay.
You've mentioned your grandmother numerous times, and I'm getting the sense she was very close to you. So talk to me a little bit more about your grandma.
I love my grandma to death. Like, we're like best friends. Like, I was super young that time. I remember when she goes to work, because she works in real estate too.
This is back in the Philippines.
Back in the Philippines.
Okay.
She work in the real estate. She sell like lots, but in the Philippines you have to drive like hours to see like bigger lots. So every time she goes to work, I wake up in the morning and I was just wearing like underwear and like small, like not even jacket. I just go inside her car and I just sneak in there and hide there until she goes like halfway, and I just like, like, and she's like, oh my God, again. And now she have to take me to work. Like, we have that type of bond. We're always together. So no, my grandma is more like, I call her mommy. She's more like my mom. Yeah.
And now, so this was back in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And you said she passed?
She passed to 2003.
2003.
Yeah. That's why we were alone.
Yeah. So talk about that a little more. About
that was really sad, like how she passed. That was like in my graduation day, actually. I was sleeping in my room. They made me like like an adult room so that I can be sleep solo with my small little table. So I slept there. Like, actually, that week is the first time I actually slept in that room. I always sleep with her, together with my brother and my sister. So I slept there alone, and then one day I woke up, and then I turned around, and my big sister was behind me. She was like crying. And I was like, what are you crying for so early in the morning, And I just left her there crying, and I started kind of like taking a shower, getting ready. I don't know why is she crying for. I don't know, because she sleeps with my grandma. And then I went straight to my grandma's room, and I'm like, I was shaking her, and I was like, Mommy, like, wake up, because I need to put makeup. It's my graduation day. I need to get arranged. I'm going to be late. She's now waking up, and I was like looking at her, and I was like, oh my God, maybe she's dead. And I'm like, yeah, it's not true. She's not dead. So I just start shaking her, and I'm like, maybe I should open her eyes, no, I don't want to do that. And then at some point, I carried her arms, like forcefully. It was hard. She's been like dead for a
rigor
while,
mortis.
apparently.
Passed away.
So after that, they just took her away. And I called my mom, because my mom lives somewhere else. She was visiting in the Philippines then. And after that, after they took her, I didn't see her after that. It was just kind of like, it went really fast. And they didn't know what to do with me and my brother and my sister. My brother was 1 year old, or no, even maybe like 8 months. So he's like still a baby. And my sister is like, so I was probably 10 that time, and then my sister was 11, and they didn't know what to do with us. because my mom doesn't live in the Philippines. My mom was visiting. My mom has a work. My uncle is about to go to Canada. So no one will take care of us. So we were alone for some time. So that was really hard at the same time, but also right now where I'm standing right now, it's kind of like I'm glad I went through it because I won't be this tough.
Strong.
Like nothing really like people who trolls me on Instagram, like, people tells me like negative stuff. I don't feel anything. I think that's one of the reasons why the stage doesn't frighten me, because it's like,
it's not that important
nothing,
in the grand scheme of things.
So I'm actually happy that I went through that time.
So how long were you guys by yourself?
2 years, 3 years.
And what did you do to get food and
So my mom, she sent us money, but 10 years old, like,
you don't know what to do with it?
what do you do with that? So we were like street kids, literally. We were like on the street, like from morning to night. And there is a time also that there's a time I almost got raped actually on the street. I just had to like fight myself, and then it happened. A lot of things have happened literally.
What made you the person you are today because of it? Anyone who's gone through some real shit in life appreciates stuff that's good.
Yeah.
And they know when shit is really bad and when it's not really that serious.
That's true.
You learn real quick.
That's so true.
Did you know any of these things?
No, I knew. I mean, I'm kind of taking this in now, and I'm learning. Now I understand, like, your spirit, like how you live your life, and like your persona. Like, I see a lot of. I mean, obviously, I watch a lot of your stuff, and I've seen how you carry yourself and whatnot. But I mean, it's crazy background. I mean, to be that young and be kind of thrown at you. It's kind of like some people would say, "Hey, poor me," but at the same time, you took control of things and. Look at your personality and look at you taking the responsibility, right, and using it as leverage to make your life something different, special. I mean, like we just talked about this, you commanding a room when you walk in. I mean, it shows your strength as a woman, right? Which I feel like a lot of people don't look at women as kind of leaders in a sense, where I feel like that you could position yourself very easily to be a leader like that.
Thank you. No, I mean, it's a very life-changing experience. I think if I didn't go through that, I will be a brat in a way. And that was my biggest fear, actually, because I didn't want to live like that. Nothing was handled like in a silver platter to me. And I like the fact that I have to work in each one of them. I like that because I don't want to be entitled. Especially in this sport, I don't want to feel like that, So I've always kind of like used whatever happened to me then till now, if it makes sense to you. I can never, when people say to me, "Oh my God, you're top Olympians now, so are you gonna change? Like, are you gonna be cocky now? Or are you gonna be like?" It's just I can't change to that. It's impossible. Even though I try, it just doesn't work. So I'm happy that I went through that.
So what's next?
What's next?
You gonna go in some music videos?
I had 3.
Oh, let's talk about them.
I had 3. Well, I used to do like
It's a rumor on the streets is you're a music video girl.
I was actually in Norway.
Oh boy, can we find them? Well, one of you guys send me the video clip. I'm gonna insert it right here.
Way.
Are you like dancing in them?
She got sing too.
Oh,
The cheerleader background. Can you dance?
I can backflip for you.
She can backflip, of course. Well,
Please
you're a
don't do it
swimmer.
here.
You're a swimmer,
I can do a lot of things.
What kind of music videos are we talking?
So it's like pop, one of the singers there, I did 3. So one of the singers there is really famous. Actually, you've probably heard this song already around the radio. So I did one with them, and one is with partner. Like, I had to act. I usually just have to act.
So I know there's K-pop in Korea.
No,
what
not
was
K-pop.
this? Is this Norwegian pop? What is this?
No, it's actually very American in a way. Yeah, no K-pop. Huh? You know the song "Am I Wrong"?
If I heard it, I'm sure.
You
You could sing it for
No.
us.
Sing it. Come on. No.
I mean, you
Here,
see,
hold on. Here, we'll put the
Francis,
camera
you're a great singer. You know.
No, I can't sing. They're full of shit.
Okay, let's get on a serious tip. What's next for you in the world that we're living in?
What's next for me? Like
Fitness.
fitness.
Talk about the future. What's the
future.
plans?
Okay, so I'm going to Pittsburgh. I'm going to New York.
What are you doing in these places?
I'm gonna just for Pittsburgh. I'm gonna be at Nabia Fitness stand and also support the show, support the athlete, maybe give some awards, and also in New York, bro. And I'm going to William Bonac. It's just I love Amsterdam, you know. So and I really love William too. He's a
We
nice
just
guy.
saw William.
We just saw him in Germany last week.
And we spent time with him at
He's
working
a nice
out.
guy.
Great guy. I
He's
met
a
him
great
before
guy.
he became popular. I met him
before
I
you
met
became
him,
William Bonnick.
I met him in Holland.
Yeah.
He lived there at the time, and he, we appeared together in
Mm-hmm.
Italy that year, and he guest posed with me, and we got to pose and everything. It was really cool. But he's such a great guy, and
Such a
obviously
nice
he's
guy.
competing, right? So he hasn't. I don't think he's announced yet what he's doing, right? But
Oh,
yeah, well, I don't know if he was saying yet, but he was. He looks incredible. We saw him in the gym, and I was just mind blown because it's been a minute, and I wasn't. It's kind of like, what have you done lately for me, right? With people, and he definitely his back,
Yeah.
so you're going to go to Amsterdam.
yeah. I'm gonna
That's
support his show.
That's Angie's bucket list. She's like dying to go to Amsterdam.
You have to bring her.
I know.
We
I've
were
been
there
before.
Why,
for.
you guys going to go to the red
we
light
were
district?
there.
She just wants to. She just
kidding.
wants to see. She
That's
hears
pretty
so
cool
many
too.
things. There's a lot of.
Oh, you gotta go
lot of
see it.
history,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
can go
can
see
like.
Anne.
Ben
You go
or-
see Anne
Yes.
Frank.
Okay.
You can.
Anne Frank.
You
Fran
can.
loves it there. I
You know,
know that.
people there are driving.
Wonder why Fran likes it.
We were there and we came to. We just passed like for a night. We stayed there for like a whole night, and then it felt like a dream. It was just like never happened. No, we love Amsterdam.
How do you know William Bonnick?
I met him like at the Boston Pro.
Okay.
And I met him also in, was it UK or FIBO?
Probably FIBO.
He was at FIBO.
Yeah, we met Leona too.
Is he Nebbia?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think
So
so.
this year, are you doing any shows before, or are you just doing the Olympia?
I'm doing the Olympia. Yeah.
Okay. And what's going to happen there?
Whatever happens there. But I'm
Where's
you
his
know,
confidence?
That's a confidence. No, I mean like I'm working really hard. I think it's I wanna I'm working on a new package. So I don't wanna just show that
Okay.
in any other show than Olympia. So that was my plan.
Well, can I ask you where you feel you fell short last year?
For me, I was too dark and I was not depleted enough. For me.
So
did you know, like, this might, did you know that when you went on stage? Did you feel that?
Of course
like,
I knew that. But it's not gonna kill my posing.
Yeah.
Because I always think, hey, if I'm not in shape, I have to be better at posing.
Hey, it's not the physique you have; it's the physique you present.
I always think like that. So it's my presentation will always be the same. Either I'm in shape or not. So I knew it. Like,
who's got the best eye to look at you?
what do you mean?
Like, who looks at you and can say you're on or you're...
Well, I have a coach, Francisco Espin. He knew what happened. I guess he just kind of like played it safe. Especially for we're learning because he's a new coach. I just got him like after the Boston Pro. He did a pick week for me for Boston and Arnold's, and we prepped for 8 months for that Olympia that I won. So we're still learning my body. I guess he just played it safe, And I told him, I know my body. You can like deplete me as much as you can, and I'm still gonna keep the roundness. That's just how my body. I think
Genetics.
my skin is really thick. I need to
Suck
cut
it
it
in.
out. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, it happens.
And where are you going to prep this year?
So in June we're gonna be in Spain the whole June, and I'll be back here by July. And from July I'll
Shut
just
it down.
yeah.
It gives you 4 months.
Also, what happened last year? Not everybody knows about this, but we were stuck in Spain.
I remembered. Yes.
I had 4 weeks before the Olympia, and I wasn't sure if I can compete at the Olympia because I'm still waiting for my U.S. Visa. We don't know where I'm gonna get it, so I just prepped as if I know I'm gonna get it. if
The
it makes
rumors
sense.
had it that you weren't going to compete, you know.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because
because
you were stuck there.
Yeah.
we stopped the plane. Literally, he stopped the plane because it was a long story because I didn't have my actual passport, but I have my card to get inside Norway, and I needed the stamp in Norway. So they didn't let me fly to Norway because I didn't have the actual passport. He stopped the plane and they called.
Really?
Yes. If I miss that, I won't be able to go to Olympia
Wow.
because that was the last appointment for US passport stamp. We did it though.
How long's the visa last?
3 years. So I'm good for
What visa is it?
O1 visa.
O&A?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good for 3 years.
So that was hard. I think that's one of the biggest issue I had last year.
That's stressful too.
It's super stressful because it doesn't show in my face that I'm stressed. I think in my body I'm stressed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because I didn't know if I can compete, I was just prepping as if I'm gonna compete. But I mean,
so
at
this,
least
this time around, you'll have
yeah, I'm chill. Yeah,
your normal gym.
I'm home. Yeah,
your
I will
home
be
gym.
home.
No stress, no nothing. So
Yeah, I'll be home by good 4 months, for example. Like, maybe 3 months, 4 months.
well, you guys still got to come out to Vegas every once in a while.
Yeah, for sure. But it's easy to come here. It's like
It's
drive.
easy. You just drive up the
It's
street.
so easy. I mean, especially for me, I'm just sitting in the back, sleeping.
So you don't drive?
I can't drive here. I can't drive here because I don't have a license
You
here.
can drive in Nevada.
I know how to drive though.
No, in Nevada you can.
What do you mean?
Nevada, they honor foreign driver's licenses in the state.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Every state's different.
So when she pulls out of here, she's going to be behind the driver's wheel, maybe.
Listen, next time I hear of a music video that needs somebody,
Yeah.
reach out.
Yeah, reach out. Yeah.
You can do some backflips.
Yeah. I can, whatever you want. I can do whatever I can cook. I can clean.
Yeah, who does all the cooking? I saw someone post something the other day. Were you cooking for her, or did she cook for you? Okay, she made for you.
Fran,
I saw.
I think Fran knows how to eat.
Yeah,
Bro,
but-
I cook for Regan too.
I know
What are
you
you
did. I
talking
remember.
In Spain, I was cooking for him.
No, I remember when you were staying with Regan. I came by there and you were cooking everyone's food.
I just don't want people to starve under my roof. You know what I mean? I don't like to eat alone. Like, I don't want them staring at me eating and they're like, "Are you hungry?" I always ask, like, "Are you hungry? You want to eat?" I always force them, you know. I think it's a cultural thing. Philippines is like that.
So next time you come out, you can come stay.
Everybody,
I have all the food. You just cook.
good.
Omsi's
I like
eating
to
good,
cook.
huh?
Wow.
But can you make
my
traditional
God.
Filipino
Oh,
food?
100%.
Oh.
I can do like spring roll, whatever.
What's
you
your
Why
want.
am I
vice
just hearing
then?
about this shit now?
What's your vice then? What's a hard thing for you to stay away from that's probably not
Rice.
good? Well, I mean, rice is part of the.
Well,
I
for
mean, he's eating
bikini, it's
rice
harder.
over here. Oh, it is, huh? Do you have to go like a low carb diet?
Of course, everybody
Really?
does. Yeah.
I didn't. I would ate 1,000 grams of
I
carbs.
mean,
a day.
you're-
You're the same way because you're shredded.
I'm a foodie.
Really?
Big time.
Where are you eating tonight then?
At the Airbnb.
Kitchen.
Yeah, you're in Vegas. It's all you can eat sushi here. What's wrong with you guys? You
Ben
guys
is
know this.
watching. My coach is watching.
Hey, you got till July. We can fatten you up.
Damn.
He messaged you.
Oh.
He says, so we talked about Gold's Gym Venice and, training amongst that equipment. And, you said you train at home sometimes because you guys have a facility near you.
You
but-
know the gym that I train.
Yeah, of course.
The
yeah,
Marina
I trained there.
gym.
We lived in the same place, by the way.
That's crazy.
I heard that you're going to do something with the gym in Spain, though.
Yes, I wanted to say that. So after the Olympia, we're actually in June. That's why we're gonna be in Spain in June.
Okay.
We're looking for the place where to build a gym. We're building our own gym.
What city?
So right now we're in between Alicante and Zaragoza, but Zaragoza is his hometown, but it's growing.
Is that north or south of
It's 1 hour north, 1 hour from
Because
Barcelona.
we spent a week in Alicante last year. Regan and I did when he
Yeah.
competed there.
Alicante.
It's beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Yes.
But I just like the homey feeling of Zaragoza in a way. I'm more used to that. It's his hometown, so I've stayed there for quite
So
some
then
time.
that gives you guys a reason to go there a lot.
Yeah, 100%.
What kind of gym equipment are you going to have there?
Panata.
Oh, why Panata?
I'm so fortunate. Actually, you know what's when I was prepping for my first ever show, I just realized I was actually prepping with Panata equipment. I just realized, and I was.
So it gives you a home feeling.
It's but Panata, you know, it's like the Ferrari of the equipment.
Ferrari. I wonder why.
They're really
Does it come
good.
from Italy?
Yeah, from Mapiro. No, they're really good. They're really good. And I'm very fortunate enough because the Panata team is super family too. Like the feeling.
We see them at all the shows. And
Yeah.
Well, she's been there. She was there for all the events, you know. UK and
Yes, that's
Bebo.
true.
She was so busy she didn't have time for us because she's
Are you kidding me?
She's
Different
one of
hall.
those famous
Different hall.
people.
Different hall.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's like 10 minutes walk from
Yeah, it is, yeah.
from like
Oh, that's how it was at FIBO. We saw you as we were leaving.
yeah, in the
People are messaging me, hey,
shoot.
you're going to come see me? I'm like, are you kidding me? It's like
so-
a 30-minute walk.
It's like
No.
22,000 steps a day.
That's good. So you don't have to do any cardio.
They say
Yeah.
10,000.
You did
No, how much cardio are you doing for these contests?
40 minutes, 45.
Twice, yeah, okay. Do you enjoy that or?
I hate cardio.
I know. Most
But you
people
know,
do.
you gotta try
If-
to
if you
enjoy
ever-
to love.
If you ever prep back in Norway, you could ski down the hill and walk up. Would it go by quicker then?
So it sounds like
Oh my
Spain is a big project place, and it sounds
Yeah.
like you guys are going to
Yes.
probably spend in the future a little more time there.
Yeah.
It's,
I expect an invite.
Yes,
I
100%.
would like to come over.
We're
because
gonna
I am-
invite you.
Yes, because I would like to check out what Spain is like. You talk about Spain a lot.
Spain is beautiful.
Spain is beautiful.
If I had to move to Europe, I think I would go to Spain or
yeah.
Portugal.
The lifestyle, the quality life is just, I don't know. You have to be there. The thing is, you don't notice it. How great is it in there until you come home? Because every time we come home to LA, we're like, damn, like what a big downfall, like what we have actually.
When we went this last time, we ended up going to Madrid for 2 days, and every day I just got up and I just went on my own.
Coffee
walked
is like,
around, yeah.
it's coffee shop
I
everywhere.
wanted to go see
It's-
all the castles. And
Exactly. Like the time doesn't feel like you're wasting time. Because here in LA, if we felt like we're just wasting time. When we're in Zaragoza, for example, in Spain, the day lasts longer.
Why? Like, explain to me what the difference is.
First, you can get to anywhere 15 minutes. Like everywhere, it's like you can do a lot of things in one day. And you can just go down your house and walk around the city, and it almost feel like New York, because when you walk around for 10 hours, you don't feel like it was 10 hours.
Yeah.
So it's always like that in Spain. And also if you drive, let's say 1 hour or 2 hours out from, let's say from Valencia, you're out in Alicante already. If you drive a little more, you're in Madrid or Barcelona. It's like, it's a different different city.
And you can get on the high-speed trains and get
Yes.
anywhere in like an hour.
100%. 100%.
Just it's almost as fast. It's actually quicker to take the train to Madrid than if you fly, because you don't have to get
No,
there 2 hours early. And
100%, yeah.
it's got Wi-Fi and it just goes 200 miles an
100%.
hour and
That's
drops
what I
you off.
did.
That's why I love those countries that have that. Like here in America, we don't have that.
You don't have, it's not like transportation, it's very difficult to go around. That's why I always ask him to drive me around. I feel bad for him. But in Europe, it's really good. Like you can go anywhere, like with transportation.
Public transportation.
Yeah.
It's like back in the 80s where you've got lots of culture, lots of family
Yeah.
togetherness. Food's great, but people are just
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the food. Like I don't know if you feel the same. Every time we come home from Europe and we eat here, we just feel bloated.
Well, it's because we got all the GMOs and all that shit
You know,
food here.
like I can
He
eat.
said the same thing when he went to South Africa. You know.
We can eat anything there. Like for say we were in Norway or Spain, we eat. I'm very gluten. I have all the problem you can think of: gluten problem, lactose problem.
have it there.
But every time I'm there, I'm just eating and I don't feel fat.
It's the same thing. So I go down to South Africa and
It's the same.
food there is
Why did you come for a bodybuilding dream? Is that why you're here? To the U.S. Why'd you go to Gold's Gym in L.A. for the bodybuilding? Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
So where can people find you?
People
They want
find
to
me?
hire you to be a coach. If they want to,
Posing coach.
I mean, hey,
Where's your contact?
Oh, and
Instagram or-
Instagram, Maureen Blanquisco, that pro.
and if you message her, you must pronounce her name right.
The Blanquisco.
Blanquisco.
Actually, my last name is Spanish. You know that?
Sounds it.
Filipino.
No. My real last name.
What's your real last
It's
name?
Maureen Blanquisco Hernandez. Yeah, that
Well,
was my
well,
that was
because Philippines has a
yes,
Spanish influence.
that was my father's last name, but I used my mom's. So yeah, I have part
the
Spanish.
fact that you can't speak fluent Spanish,
right?
and the fact that you haven't taught her is even worse.
She will within. You're going to throw her right into it when she gets to Spain, and you're going to have to.
So
of
listen,
course, with
next
the
time
gym
you
and
go to
everything.
Spain, do not speak one word to her in English. You will be forced to learn. You've
No,
already done it once. You can do it.
Gosh, damn.
She's going to come to the Olympia, and your winning speech will be in Spanish.
Oh my gosh! Imagine. Hola, ¿qué tal? Yeah, my grandma speaks fluent Spanish. Actually, her generation speaks Spanish. It's crazy.
That's why when you go to the Philippines, it's a Filipino peso.
Peso. Filipinos, not like Filipini, you know, like you know what I mean? We're not Chinese, Japanese, you know, more like Latino, you know.
Yeah.
That's, you know.
Well, listen, we loved having you on.
Thank you guys so
I'm sure it
much.
will happen again, but congratulations on all the success.
Thank you.
We look forward to what's going to happen this year. But in the meantime, you have a busy schedule. I'm sure you're going to change a lot of lives on that journey. So congratulations and keep doing it. You know, it's awesome that you were able to come out here. I'm very honored you were able to come out here last minute and surprised me, because this was a surprise for me.
Yeah. No, I just got a message.
Yeah.
Hey, we're coming out. I
No,
was
thank
like,
you for having me though.
I know
like-
you
weren't
mentioned
even-
it last
You
week
weren't
or
even.
whatever, yeah.
He was like, "We're going to come out." I'm like, "Jason's not even here." So-
Yeah. Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you
you
so
tried to come when I
much.
wasn't back. That's right. That's right.
I know you guys are so busy. Thank you so much.
no,
I
it's-
know it's like really, you know, not even planned. So thank you.
No, so it's like I said, good luck.
Thank
Until
you.
next time, and we'll have you come back on down the road.
Down the road, yeah.
When there's something else to talk about. Maybe another win. All right. Thank you again for coming on.
Thank you. Or a baby.
Everyone's having babies now.
I know, or breaking up.